Hi, I'm Ariel and I live in California. Please like and subscribe. If you do, you'll find a surprise on the third shelf of your closet tomorrow. Believe me, it works. I wasn't born in California. For most of my childhood, I lived in a small town where everyone knew everyone. I wasn't popular, but I was friendly and loved my life. It was perfect, except for one little thing. My mom was obsessed with making me a star. Wear pink, it brings your eyes out. But I like black, Mom. It's a cool color, and I even have matching shoes. You do as I say, or I won't allow you to play at all. She tried everything, like putting me in the most adorable kid contests and posting me all over social media. I never won anything, but that never stopped her. She made me sing, but I was so bad that my instructor quit after my second lesson. I tried learning a musical instrument, but that only led to me being banned from music class. When I turned 12, she pushed me to become a ballet dancer so I could get the solo in the Nutcracker. Even though I had 2 left feet, I tried my best to make her happy. Mom, this is so difficult and my feet are killing me. Oh, come on, you're not trying hard enough. Don't you want to be the best, Ariel? The most famous person on the planet? Yes, Mom. Then try till you can. Here, take this. This will always remind you to be strong and determined. I looked at the bracelet with a massive picture of Mom, and while I thought it was kinda creepy, I wore it because I didn't want to disappoint her. That evening, I practiced till I tripped and hurt my ankle. I couldn't dance and had to walk on crutches for days. It was embarrassing, but I'd do anything to make my mother proud. While Mom was crazy, Dad wanted me to be what made me happy. They fought about it a lot, which only made me more miserable. When I got to 9th grade, I finally figured out what my dream thing to do was. I ran home from school and couldn't wait to tell my dad. Dad, I love looking at the stars. I think I want to be an astronomer.
That's great, honey. I know you'll be amazing at it.
That same day, Dad got me my first telescope and all the posters of meteors, planets, and stars I could ever want. It was all really expensive, but he said he was happy to get it because it made me happy. But all the excitement got wiped away as soon as Mom saw the telescope.
What were you thinking, John? She won't become famous by looking at planets. There are so many other things you could have gotten her and you chose this? You're hurting her. Don't you see that? She's just a kid and you've loaded her with dumb expectations.
Mom and Dad fought a lot, and the following day, Dad left. I was hurt to see how upset Mom was. This was all my fault. My mom just wanted the best for me, and I couldn't get anything right. Soon after Dad left, Mom and I moved to California and she enrolled me in one of the best schools in the city. I promised myself things would be different. I changed my hair color, bought fancier outfits, and even enrolled in ballet classes. Hey Mom, look, no more tripping over my feet.
That's nice, dear, but just not tripping over your feet isn't star ballerina material. Do you remember that little Nutcracker incident? I want you to focus on yourself so you won't humiliate me like that again.
You're right, Mom. No more loose ends. I'll be my best version. I pushed myself to do better, and soon, I became everything Mom dreamt of. The student body president, head cheerleader, and the best student in school. I had a busy life, and sometimes the pressure to keep up was a bit too much. But then I saw how proud Mom was, and everything felt better. One day during cheer practice, my best friend Maisie and I were performing cartwheels, but we just weren't getting it right. When suddenly, I was interrupted by Declan, the smartest guy in the whole school.
You're doing it wrong.
Really? Then show us the right way. Suddenly, Declan put his books aside and did the most amazing cartwheel and backflip. I was blown away.
And that's how you land the perfect flip.
Wow, I could have never guessed a nerd would be so, what's the right word? Flexible?
You don't know a lot of things.
Like what?
Like, I've had the biggest crush on you and would love to take you out on a date.
Suddenly, I felt my cheeks on fire. Declan was a nerd, and although he was cute, I didn't know if we were a good match.
Think about it. You know where to find me.
Declan walked away, and Macy jumped on me with excitement. I could see the sparks fly. You should totally go for it. He's kinda cute. You think? Mom would never allow me to date a geek. Forget about your mom for once and just do what you really like. And for the love of God, take that hideous bracelet off your wrist.
No way. Mom would kill me if I took it off. And I'll think about the date. I didn't think. I called Declan the moment I reached home, and the next day, we went out. He was fun and cute, and I had a great time. For weeks after that, we went out on several more dates, till he asked me out and we became an official couple. Things were fine, till one day the school announced the annual cheerleading competition, and I was selected as the team representative. I was constantly practicing at school and at home. Mom made me practice extra hours. One day before the competition, Mom was teaching me a few moves, but I was tired to the bone. Your formations aren't good enough. You know what you need? A good energy drink.
No, Mom, can I please go to bed now?
Mom agreed. I went to bed, but a few seconds later, Declan texted me that he was outside of my place. I sneaked out and found him standing with my favorite ice cream.
Oh, you're the best. The best!
I know you needed that. You've been practicing too hard.
Yeah, try telling my mom that. Declan and I spoke for a few minutes and he kissed me goodnight. But when I went inside, I saw my mom fuming.
I thought you were too tired to practice, but here you are eating useless calories and being blind in love.
It's not like that, Mom. He just came for a few minutes to surprise me, and he's a nice guy.
You need to focus, and all this love and drama will only mess with your brain. Gosh, you're such a kid, Ariel.
It made me sad to see Mom being so angry, but I didn't want to make things messy, so I simply nodded and went up to bed. I woke up extremely exhausted the next day, but I felt confident and decided to focus my energy on the right thing. I was excited to show off my new cheer that I'd come up with. My mother waved at me and pointed to my mouth. I could read her lips.
Smile big. I'm recording this for your portfolio.
I smiled as wide as I could and started to lead the other cheerleaders. The crowd was going wild, and even my mother and Declan were cheering for me. I got all the way to the top of the pyramid when I felt my heart beating as if it would pop out of my chest. I started to feel wobbly.
Are you okay, Ariel?
Yes, I'm just perfect. I wasn't. And the last thing I remember was tumbling from the top of the pyramid and the sound of the ambulance. When I woke up, I was in the hospital with my mom and dad, who had flown all the way to California when he heard the news. I didn't have any bruising or anything, but I still didn't feel well. The doctor came in and looked at the clipboard that had all my information on it.
What is the last thing you remember?
I was cheering, and then my heart started beating really fast. Then I heard the ambulance and I woke up here. Did I fall? Great, I ruined everything, didn't I? The doctor said that I'd fainted because of dehydration, exhaustion, and stress. He said that I needed to slow down and rest for a few days or I would get sick again. I was so shocked. I had no idea that stress could make someone sick. Before I could say anything, though, my mom made this loud scoff.
Please, that is totally nonsense. When I was her age, I had twice the workload she does, and nothing like this ever happened. Ariel is going to be a star one day, and stars don't burn out. If she wants that, then she has to work harder and get used to a hectic schedule.
My dad looked like he was ready to blow a gasket, but I beat him to it. I can't believe you! I'm in a hospital bed and you still won't quit. I left my passion and did everything you asked me to, but nothing's working anymore. I'm tired and exhausted, Mom. I don't want to be famous or perfect. I just want to be me. Why can't you love me for me?
Oh, don't be so dramatic now. You know this is all just a phase. We'll be out of here soon and you'll be just fine.
Mom tried to help me up, but I shrugged her away. Just leave, Mom. Seriously. Also, take this stupid thing with you. It makes me feel like I've lost myself to make you happy. I couldn't stop crying after Mom left. I spent another week in the hospital and got a lot of rest. Dad visited me a lot, but my mom never came back. It made me sad because all I wanted to do was tell her I was sorry for yelling at her. My dad dropped me off at home and promised that he would see me again before he left. But just as I unlocked the door, I saw Mom running toward me, and all the trauma came rushing back. On second thoughts, Dad, can you please take me with you? I can't stay with Mom and live up to her crazy expectations anymore. I want to live my life the way I want to.
Are you sure?
Yes. I am not ready to forgive her yet. But sweetie, I have a surprise for you. I've even bought you a welcome cake. The look on Mom's face crushed my soul, but I was too mad at her for all the years she'd ignored my happiness. Dad rented a small apartment next to the school so I wouldn't have to skip studies, and thanks to Declan and Maisie, I started to feel better. I needed to learn how to love myself again before everything else. I started reading my astronomy books and fell in love with science again. I was finally feeling like myself. I even landed a scholarship that week to one of the best colleges in the country. I was super excited to tell Dad, but he had something bigger waiting for me. It was a letter from my mom talking about her story, how she could never live up to her parents' expectations and never felt good enough. And along with it was a drawing from when she was a kid. For the first time ever, I could relate to Mom. I saw her as a young girl struggling to keep up with everything, and it broke my heart. I knew I had to see her, so I decided to pay her a visit that weekend. The house was open, so I went in, and when I saw my room, I was overwhelmed thinking about all the nights I'd spent crying in there. I turned around to leave, but Mom was right behind me.
I'm so happy to see you, Ariel. Did you get my letter?
Yes, I did. Why didn't you ever tell me all that before?
I was too ashamed to show you my weak side. Parents are supposed to be strong.
But Mom, what you did to me was no different than what happened to you. You made me slog day and night, and I left everything, all the stuff that I liked, just to make you proud.
I am so sorry I put so much pressure on you. I guess I wanted you to be what I never was, but I didn't realize how awful and stressed that made you feel. You're the best daughter, and you make me proud every day. I love you.
I love you too, Mom. That's all I really wanted to hear you say. And Mom?
Yes?
Can I have my bracelet back?
I was wondering if you'll ever ask.